Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, I once again dive the depths of the Steam Workshop to find some unique creation from many years ago. And I found for today the X-021 Paladin 2, which is this lovely thing, sitting here. And I also found a brand new SKYBOX to play around with, which is very impressive. It's just like a giant mega planet below you, and just endless desert. Yes, this is a large block ship that features rocket launchers to blast your enemies with. We have both ion and hydrogen thrusters, we are good for pretty much everywhere, and we do have a fairly large hangar bay for you to store a small fighter ship or even a mining ship, or even just a small ship to transport yourself down to the surface. Pressing F10 and finding the Paladin in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 3,350 large blocks, using none of the DLC packs because they did not exist back then, and we do have a little bit of information about it on the Steam Workshop page. So we'll give this thing a thumbs up and move around to the very front. We'll have a quick look around the outside, we'll have a very quick tour of the interior, then we'll fly around for a bit and maybe visit the space pirates that keep spawning those annoying drones. So all we can see at the front is a bunch of white and red blocks which make up the main body of the ship. If we was to get a little bit closer, we can see our two weapons, which are the vanilla rocket launchers to blast your enemies with. We also have a couple of interior blocks along the wall just to break up all the steel blocks, and the ship is slowly moving up. Anyway, pulling away from that and moving around onto the side, this is all we get. So we can see the start of our ion thrusters, there's some more hydrogen thrusters to help us on our left and right. You see a couple of interior lights just to light up the sides and make you more visible in the dark. All the way along over to this section, we've got a spotlight next to some more hydrogen thrusters. Then around onto this edge, we've got a tiny little wing with once again another interior light. Moving around and towards the back, another interior light, and this is what's going to push us around. So we've got two large ion thrusters, one large hydrogen thruster, then a couple of small ones on both sides. Moving all the way up and looking down, this is all we get on the ship. So we do have a cargo access right in front of our rear hydrogen thrusters, so if you are doing maintenance work on the outside, you can easily grab the materials you need to patch up the ship. Moving all the way along towards the main body of the ship, this is our way of getting in and out, and we do have a hangar bay door on both sides that will slide across to make sure the door in is nice and protected from any kind of oncoming fire. All the way along, that is our bridge to fly this thing around with our lone flight seats and a nice little window blocks to make sure you get a good view all the way around. Going towards the front, this is what we get. And then dropping down and coming underneath it, we'll see one hell of a lot of hydrogen thrusters which could be very useful while on our planet. We still got our white and red patterns. There's two of the grinding drones which are attempting to get into the hangar bay. And towards the back there's a few damaged blocks from where I had an issue with the drones before I started recording. And then at the very back, that is the bottoms of our hydrogen thruster and our two large ions. And there we go. That's a very brief look around the outside, the X-021 Paladin 2. That looks bloody fantastic considering how old it is and how it's basically just using steel blocks and coloured blocks to decorate it. But grabbing hold of my character, what I can do is just come over to that doorway, which is sitting right here. We can choose either one, both lead to the same area, but we'll just come down these steps. There's our hangar bay door. This door will automatically open up thanks to a sensor sitting right next to it, and after a few seconds it will close right behind you, and there's no need to worry about it opening randomly if you come over to this side, because this sensor has been set up correctly. And there's a spotlight coming from all the drones underneath the ship, but it sounds like they're not doing much. But yes, if we were to go down there, that's going to go to our hangar bay. But just looking around the room, we've got plenty of places that we can decorate with all of our DLC packs, such as the chairs, our planters, or even armory lockers if you needed to. And then just coming around to the opposite side, it is going to be the exact same. So there we go. Moving around and into the middle part, we just got this little section here where once again we can decorate it if we wanted to. And then just turning around, that's going to lead up to our bridge, where we do not have any kind of additional doors. We just walk all the way up, and we're ready to fly this thing around. We'll come back to that a bit later. If we were to come all the way around and down these blue steps, this is going to come down to our hangar bay door area, but we do have a section where we can access a bunch of cargo containers, as well as where all our air vents are being kept. Now we do not have any kind of assemblers or any kind of refineries on here, so if you need to use them, you would need to place them in one of the spare gaps on this ship. But here we go, we can have a quick look on the inside. We've got a bunch of sensors, there's our rocket launchers, there's our landing gears, ion thrusters, small reactors, and one hell of a lot of lights, gyroscopes, and everything we need to keep this thing going. Turning around, this is our hangar bay, which was a pretty switch to the character because there is no button to open that up unless you're in the flight seat at the front. But yes, this is our hangar bay. So there's the black doors where the drones are sitting right below it, And like I said, we can fit a small fighter in here, or even a couple of small fighters, a mining ship, or even a land vehicle if you wanted to, but that's entirely up to you and what you need on your journey. Towards the back of this room, we've got ourselves a beacon and another cargo access. Then looking around onto the side of the rooms, that's below our stairs that lead up. There's another air vent. Around over here, we do have another doorway, which is on a sensor once again. That'll bring me back to where my original character is currently standing. But now I can just bring my character over towards the front, get it into the chair. In first person view, this is what we get all the way around us. Got a nice clear view of where we're going. Bring up the HUD, these are the only controls we get. Where number one is going to be to use our jump drive, where we can jump 1,214.49 kilometers, which is pretty respectable for a large ship. Number 2 is going to be to fire both our rocket launchers at the front there together. There we go. Number 3 is for our batteries to turn them on and off. Number 4, 5 and 6 is for our hangar bay doors all the way around the ship. So pressing number 4, that's going to be for our doors at the top. So if I were to bring the free camera all the way around so we get a better look at what's going on. There we go. Pressing number 4. Now simply slide across, make sure your doorways are nice and protected. And also stop any kind of sneaky so-and-so from trying to get aboard your ship. Number 5 is going to be for our hangar bay doors sitting right here. We can just open and close them. And then number 6 is going to be to let the drones in. And you know what? Let's just actually let them in. So there's both of them right there. And hopefully they'll come on the inside. There we go. And now we can start closing up the doors. It looks like their drills or the grinders have been destroyed, but they still have their Gatling guns and they could still be a nuisance. Number 7 is a unknown block, but I believe this was to turn all the thrusters off around the ship. Number 8 is then for our interior lights all the way around the ship, and then number 9 for our spotlights to sit on our side wings. So it'll be for these ones. On to tab number 2, 3 and 4, we've got nothing else, so it's time to fly this thing around, and hopefully those drones don't rattle around in the hangar bay. So moving forwards, this is what we get. We've got some nice speed thanks to our large ion and hydrogen thrusters. Coming to a stop, that is what we get. We've got some fantastic stopping speed, which is great for when you're approaching a station at high speeds, and you're not sure if you're going to stop in time. Moving left, and moving right, that's what we get. We're very slow in comparison to forwards and backwards. Moving down, still faster than left and right, but nowhere near forwards and backwards. And then moving up should be faster than everything else. Yes, it is, which is great when you're on a planet. Then just wiggling my mouse around, this is what we get. We are extremely heavy, but it does suit this size of the ship, and we will not be able to do a 180 to stop ourselves quicker, but it's not necessary at the end of the day. And there we go, that is pretty much it for the X-021 Paladin 2 has to offer. So the only thing left to do is to slam it into that pirate outpost and see what kind of damage we can deal. And here we go, we're now approaching the pirate outpost, which I think is a salvage station. We're now going to switch our rocket launchers, we're going to start firing into it, and we're just going to slam it straight in with our front to see what kind of damage we can deal. And here we go. And there we are. That's actually a very fancy station. And doesn't look like we did too much damage to this ship, so we are good for ramming us up at full speed. And we should deal a nice lot of damage there as part of our window right there. Yes, we are still perfectly flyable, and doesn't look like anything on the interior has been damaged, outside of course the drones that are rattling around inside. But that is pretty much it for the X-021 Paladin 2 has to offer. There'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do. As well as a link to the SKYBOX, because it is a very fancy one, and I am a sucker for these massive plain ones that cover up the entire screen. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.